I'm Samantha Chips.
And I'm Sheppy. Here's the issue.
Tell me say money motivate me, talk is cheap, so me not talk if the conversation no pay me. Leo Rando we currently counting currency, stacking up the Benjamin Franklins, we run the ground with it.
Here's the story. The Caribbean community is in an apparent uproar over Michael B. Jordan's ownership of a rum called Juve rum. They're calling it a case of cultural appropriation.
Are they? All right. See, I'm just listening. I'm listening in this one.
No, you're going to talk in this one.
Because you need to listen before you have any arguments to oppose or
before
agree
we argue or debate, we need to
Right.
establish what are we talking about.
Yes.
Right? So, what is cultural appropriation? Cultural appropriation refers to the use of objects or elements of a non-dominant culture in a way that doesn't respect their original meaning, give credit to their source, or reinforces stereotypes or contributes to oppression. So now that we have that, is this a case of cultural appropriation? Samantha, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, at one point I was not okay about it, and then at one next point, me alright. Then me start thinking about it again, and then you bring points and somebody else bring points, and I'm just like, I'm on the fence. I don't know how to feel. I am not from Trinidad or Tobago. I feel like they may have a different feeling than I do as a Jamaican toward it. So, in my opinion, no.
Why not?
Because I believe strongly in intention.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel like he understood what he was doing in that he was offending or appropriating somebody else's culture. When he chose to name his rum Juve rum, he probably just thought it meant party or, whatever. Just like how you use reggae loosely to describe, reggae clothing, reggae this, reggae that, dance that, EDM that, whatever.
I agree with you.
Right?
I agree with you in most of it. In the sense that I don't see anything from that indicates the man had any malicious intent.
I don't see it.
But now there's a thing with intent versus action.
But his action doesn't say anything negative
But
either.
action is cultural appropriation.
I don't feel so. I just don't. I don't.
Okay. Let's just go back to that definition.
Alright.
Culture.
Alright. Okay. Alright, look. Did he know Juve was from or is claimed by Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, on the little bottle thing that he had there, he made some mention of Trinidad on it.
He did? On the
But the fact
bottle?
about Trinidad and parties and all of that, yeah. Not the bottle, the case thing that it came in has something about Trinidad on it.
So it has a history on there.
No.
So he did credit it. Okay, explain.
Because Juve, by history and celebration, is not just the party. It's more like an anniversary celebration of cultural freedom from oppression. The best word I can say.
Okay.
Right.
I'll accept that. Okay.
Right? That's what it is. It's a celebration and the anniversary of that. So to just say, it's just a party, it's like, okay, you're kind of mischaracterizing it.
Alright, let me read the thing. If this is it.
But I do agree with you when you say I don't see how the man had any malicious intent or planned on.
There's no intention of exactly. All right. So the thing says on the box, derived from the Antillean Creole French term meaning daybreak, Juve originates of Trinidad as celebrations of emancipation combined with carnival season to serve as the festival's informal commencement. Crafted on those same islands, Juve rum is a tribute to the party start. Okay. What do you call that in formal terms when you specifically name the country, you name the meaning, you
That's
know.
origin.
That's origin. That's accreditation.
But you didn't say what it is.
What? You didn't say what Juve is? The tribute to the party start pre-dawn streets of Trinidad originated in the pre-dawn street of daybreak. Okay. French term meaning daybreak.
Like I'm saying, that's an oversimplification of what it is.
He doesn't need to go in depth. He's a fucking product he's creating. He doesn't need to give you a whole history lesson when he's giving you a product.
But that oversimplification he gave changed the meaning of what it was.
Oh my god, I don't see the issue here. He credited the source. He's just adding to the culture, if anything, not taking away.
What do you mean he's adding? What is he add to the culture?
Me mean he created a product that people are gonna eventually fucking buy. And now they're I'm not saying he's going to put money back into the country. I'm not saying, because that's not where I'm going with this. I see your face. That's not where I'm going with. What I'm saying is, okay, people now understand or know a little bit more about Trinidad just based on buying the. He didn't have to put any of that shit on his product. He didn't. He could have just fucking stolen the word and gone about in business.
And I'm going to say, I don't think he had malicious intention.
He just didn't.
But now I'm saying the action does not.
I don't think it's appropriation.
It is though. Just by definition, it is. I don't think he had malicious intent, and I'll leave it at that. And in fact, I actually commend him for like actually changing, because he didn't. There was no legal basis to make him change or reproach or take back anything.
And he did just the same.
Yes, I'm not saying.
A good youth.
I don't know the youth, so I don't.
I
don't know him.
Because if me make my product, my brand, spend all this money on packaging and labeling, and then a whole, island is gonna get upset that I did this particular thing. I know it's gonna cost me money to change everything. You think I'm not rolling out just the same? I mean, I'll spend my extra money.
That's you.
Be upset.
That's you.
You'll get over it.
No.
You'll get over it.
It.
I mean, I can understand because of the type of society it may be. And in my opinion, I just feel like it's a small issue.
Here's how okay, so you admit it's an issue. Now it's a small issue to you.
Exactly. It's a small issue to me.
And
so I'm just not the right person to discuss this with.
To commend him on, right? Because if your intentions weren't bad and you realize you did an action that hurt somebody, you take steps to correct it.
Which he did,
Which he did. I just want to say on behalf of myself and my partners, our intention was never to offend or hurt a culture we love and respect, and hope to celebrate and shine a positive light on. Last few days has been a lot of listening, a lot of learning, and engaging in countless community conversations. We hear you, I hear you, and want to be clear that we are in the process of renaming. We sincerely apologize and look forward to introducing a brand we can all be proud of. So now I have no thing in the world for me to say that this man is a bad person or had any form of intentions of hurting the place like that whatsoever. This is not what I even really want to talk about.
Yeah, what you want to talk about?
Right? What I want to talk about is how this opens up the door for the bigger issue, which is cultural appropriation and exploitation in the region. Look how easy it is to happen. Look how much it bothers us.
You use us loosely, remember this?
Us as a region.
Okay.
You don't get bothered when they exploit Jamaica?
I can't name a time that they have.
Tell me about your views on fake Rasta. Remember, you just say you don't get bothered.
But guess what? Rastafarianism isn't, yes, it originated here. But at the same time, I can't get offended for Rastafarians. For what? I mean, I don't know. I'm just... If them not offended, why me are offended? If the Rastafarians aren't taking it up in arms, what a fake dread man. If they are, I don't see them and I don't really... Right, I don't know. So it's just like... I'm telling you I don't know. I'm not talking like I know, actually. I'm saying to you, I don't know if they do this thing, and I'm not hearing it, so I'm not privy to that disgruntled attitude that they might have. To me, they all just seem so cool. Right? And not saying they're accepting, but they're peaceful in that they will see you, understand that you're a fake Rasta, probably bonfire 2 times and move on. They move the fuck on. Right? They don't, fake dread, bonfire, Haile Selassie, don't like that, or whatever. They're not spending any significant amount of their time telling you you're a fake Rasta. You know, they know, everybody knows. There's no reason to make it a conversation, is what I'm saying.
Now, I would make the argument that the reason why they don't is because they know they don't have the power to stop that, not because they don't want to.
And that's the foundation for all of it, isn't it? We don't have the power to stop that.
So we all have things that are important to us.
They're important to us. We know they're important to us. Just like a little man infringed on even slightly and we were up in arms. I'm just saying, the slightest infringement on these things was, they get us agitated. Now what this says is, okay, we as the people decide that this is important. We as the people decide that.
Yes.
We as the people have people who represent us. We as the people who have our representatives. Like, I don't want to sound political, but they represent us. We as a people decide, okay, in the span of X amount of time, as soon as it happens, no, this is a problem, we can't have it, we can't accept it, we can't like it, we can't pretend that this is good. But it doesn't mean that. But it must be possible that there's a way to protect these things.
Okay.
Right? How can somebody so far just put a trademark on the name like that that's so significant to you? What steps can be done to put in place? And if they aren't any, why not?
feel like because not everybody will understand the importance of it until you say something.
Alright, okay, something has been said. Do something.
He sounds very hurt that he hurt you guys. Or the character.
Maybe bothered by the fact because he didn't see the perspective that we had on it.
Most people will never see a perspective until you bring it. They see their perspective. Right.
Most people don't see the problem until you make it a problem. I agree.
Exactly.
I agree.
And again, we go back to his intentions there.
Yeah, and I said, I moved past that.
Yeah.
Because he already corrected it with his actions.
Yes.
So the bigger issue,
Yeah.
what I'm talking about is, these things matter to us a lot as a people. We know this. We've shown this. Right? We have representatives. At this point in time, if we as a people don't do any form of action towards that, right? To get in that change or protected in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
If we don't do that, then we just talk in hot air.
Alright.
That is my thing. That any person who had a problem with this, see this thing here and does nothing when the calls to action are coming out now. When the people start saying, we need your support to do this too, you know? Anybody who just doesn't get on how you felt and what you said didn't matter because you're doing nothing.
Right. I understand and I agree. Right. I enjoy playing devil's advocate, but I also enjoy when I fully understand the situation where I feel disgruntled with these people that aren't my people. They're my people by extension because, we're all in the Caribbean. But at the same time, I feel so detached from their issues that sometimes it just takes a bit more explaining for me to, get up in arms about certain things. So I get the cultural significance of certain things when it affects other countries in our region. I get when we cry appropriation. But I feel like because I don't see Jamaica do that so often, that I'm not practiced in crying appropriation. Even if it is appropriation, I just feel like we're so open with our culture that it's so strange.
It's not that,
What is it?
It's not that. And sad thing is like, as much as you don't perceive it that way, Jamaica is actually a fairly passive place in terms of that.
We're very...
We just kind of just take what they give us.
But it's not in a bad way,
Yes, we do that in some bad ways too.
Well, right. When it comes to the US, Canada, these larger countries taking...
We never say no. We can't lock, we like them.
But... we just take more prostitutes.
No, prostitutes
they don't even pay us. Alright, no, but seriously though. Alright, no. It's not even that. I just feel like when we say one love, I feel like we take it to heart to a different level. Where, okay, we hear a Drake or a Rihanna song or that is reggaeton or tropical house, that they named it tropical house or whatever, and you hear all these reggae beats and these people talking patois whenever come here one day in them life.
Okay, I see where you're going.
And you're just like,
okay, let's do
okay,
this.
that's cool.
Let's do this.
That's an appreciation, not appropriation.
Good. Let's do this then. Let's define.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily define, but let's give examples of what is appropriation and what isn't.
Okay.
Like a good example that we can think of that what isn't appropriation is like hip hop music, right? Even though it has some origins in dancehall, right? They took it, it went over there. They made their own version of it. They made their own thing. They put their own spin. They had their own take on it, and it grew into its own.
But it's the thing, when you listen to hip hop, you don't hear reggae. When you listen to hip hop, raw hip hop, you do not hear a reggae or dancehall influence in that at all. Maybe the earlier.
Wouldn't that be like modern hip hop though? But even like, for example, in the modern hip hop, you could usually hear influence from the older ones.
Yeah.
So in the older ones, because I'm gonna pretend like I know all the old hip hop.
Right.
songs.
So maybe there is like a little era there where you could have heard some amount of dancehall reggae inside the hip hop itself. But that right there, I don't consider.
Yeah, as you say, that's not appropriation. It moved there, it grew there, and it turned into that.
Right, it morphed into that. Yeah.
It's its own thing. It has its own origin, but it's its own thing. For example, you and your sister come from the same mother, similar origin, but y'all are two different people.
Yes. So
Y'all grow different, live different, all of that. Y'all can trace your roots back to the same place, but y'all are different.
right. So
Yeah, your
I
mother
was
picked me,
just
but your
here.
father picked me too.
I was just here thinking
I
about
didn't think of that analogy earlier. Holy shit.
right. It took you 4 analogies later, but you got there. But yeah, I love that one.
So
right?
this is what we say is not appropriation, right? An example of things that happen that is would be things like, do I want to touch our Rasta culture then? Okay. Would be things like, say, in the Rastafari culture, right? It's not just an appearance. It's a set of beliefs and practices that these people follow and believe in, right? So for someone who's away from that culture, who just take it on, say it looks cool, and then you all of a sudden call yourself a Rasta now, and then say that's your thing, then yeah, that's appropriation.
Yeah. When it's purely aesthetic, yeah, that's when I think it bothers me. But if somebody has a deep love or appreciation or an understanding of the culture and they take it on, they get acculturated or incultured, whichever way, right? This culture now is theirs. Yes, they may not have grown up in it or whatever, but I feel like just like learned behavior, it's a learned culture,
Right.
and so it's now it's yours.
But just to be clear, it's not just like the appearance, you know. For specifically the Rasta, it's not just the appearance. You don't really need to have dreads to be a Rasta.
You
really.
don't exactly.
Right? It's
So
certain beliefs and practices, right?
Right.
But when you just start emulating how they look, and then saying you're a Rasta,
That part's fucked up. That's appropriation. That's purely for aesthetic purposes, so you can look or present a certain way. That's appropriation.
But if you just tell me, oh, I do it because I like locking my hair, do you, bro?
Yeah. Right now, if a fucking Asian came to Jamaica and start locking his shit and going naya being here and practicing spiritually, like getting involved in Rastafarianism, that's a Rasta man.
Yeah. But if I see that same Asian eating a piece of chicken and telling me I, then I'd probably feel some type of way about that, though.
Big problem with that.
I understand where you're coming from. Right?
But if he's like following the practices, believes in it, then do all of that.
No, but you have to understand it takes a while for people to I guess
Yeah, but if he's
get
trying,
into that. It's
if he's
trying,
that's
right?
one thing. I'm not
That
saying
is
you're
you.
appropriating. I'm saying you're trying.
You're trying, Rastam.
Right?
Yes. Novice.
I mean, did I ever say that video of the Rasta man from, I think, Singapore?
No. What's he doing?
Singing.
He's singing reggae?
Right.
Love that.
I need to send you that video.
That must be beautiful.
It was.
But do you see how
Do
you see my reaction to that? Isn't, oh, this man from Singapore with dreads and appropriating reggae.
Did I say he had dreads?
I'm just assuming. I don't
There's
know.
not dreads in it.
But see, he has dreads. Right? The way I think Jamaicans approach this is it's just different, dog. It's different. We're already over here trying to claim Rihanna. Saying that Rihanna is Jamaican.
I don't think that started seriously.
It didn't. It
I
was a joke.
Taking you seriously.
No, they were super upset. No, she's not Jamaican. She's Bayesian.
That is the voice of the few.
Yes, we know. We know.
Online voice is the voice of the few.
I know. We're just fucking her. I love when we fuck around as a region. When we troll each other, it's hilarious.
Because Bayesian themselves troll Rihanna all the time, right?
I don't doubt it.
Listen, you go to Barbados. It's happened to me. Go to Barbados and people say, "Oh, if you stay over here, you'll meet Rihanna." And I'm like, "You think I want to meet Rihanna dressed like this?" Like, do you think that's what I wanted myself?
Yo. But yeah, man, she's ours. Drake is also ours. We're claiming Justin Bieber temporarily. Man, gone good from the other day. Happy with them. Anybody who does reggae music or what we call it now, tropical house music, we fuck with y'all.
I don't know about the tropical house thing at all, so I'll have to look into that.
Yeah, so it's a derivative of dancehall. So
We did all our talking first.
we did. Nice.
Go on good.
Yeah, man.
Speak like a fuckery on top. We're going good.
Yeah, so our general feeling about appropriation is that it's wrong, it's stealing, and in some ways, I feel like most people who do it, they don't realize. Well, not most, a good amount. And I can feel for those people.
Right.
Them ones will just get catching at the crossfires, just like Michael B did. And I'm happy he realized, or we made him realize. Trini people and Tobagan people weren't going to let that go.
I'll give this analogy, right? If you have a tree in your backyard and no fence, the man don't know it's your tree.
Come fuck up your fruit.
You understand? And go.
Come on. yeah.
If you tell him that is your dream, take and him tell you, sorry, I'm not do it again.
Okay.
Best you can ask.
Yeah.
Right? And he's different from the man who knows yours. Don't like you from long time. Take 5, piss on the roots then, and cut.
Yeah.
But for both cases now, at some point you have to start looking at the person who owned the tree and say, why you don't put a fence? Why you don't put a fence?
Yeah.
Some action you have to take. That's what I'm getting at. If
So-
you're not taking any form of action there now, at some point the blame has to fall on us. You know?
Yeah.
At some point in the
But what would you recommend the region do to prevent people from coming and taking and leaving? What can we do? We're a tourism region when you look at it, you know. The islands. People come here all the time. I'm just saying, a lot of people go to these. What do you mean? Every Caribbean island has something exotic about it where people want to go, right? Some are marketed better than others, and so we'll get more tourists than others. But at the same time, all of them have tourists.
Trinidad become like a tourism island for one point of the year.
It still gets tourists,
Yeah.
and they leave with a part of your culture when they come. They leave knowing something they didn't come with.
But I'm saying
Right?
for the rest of the year, they're not a tourism country.
That's fine.
I'm saying they come
That's
back
fine.
here on
They
tourism.
get,
they're not like a tourist destination.
They get one bombardment of people once a year, and that's fine. It's still a shit ton at that time of year,
Yes.
and it's
They
it's
keep
global.
the culture around that for that one point of
I know, and that's why Juve is so important. That word and all, and you know, I get it. But at the same time, they come here because we invite them. We're very inviting as a people, right? Come see our culture. Come see what we have left after, you know, colonization. See what we've done after being ripped apart, stolen from, you know, dehumanized, all that. See what we've built on our own as independent, for the most part, people. For the most part, right? And they come and they enjoy our culture and they enjoy our music and they enjoy our fossils and our this and our that and whatever the hell we have here and caves and, you know, they enjoy all of it and they leave with a bit of us every time. And so if Michael B, I don't know if he ever visited, don't know, but even so, maybe he had a friend or a girlfriend and they introduced him to this culture. And he thought it was so beautiful, and he said, you know what, I'm gonna make this thing. I was just using him as an example. It could be anybody, and he leaves. Probably start out talk Trini, heavily start talk Trini, and he learns how to cook a good. Give me something that they eat over there like regularly. Sure, right? What is that? What's that? They start eating that, right? Okay, so he starts to cook those. Sounds nice. So yeah, he opens a restaurant. Is he culturally appropriating any?
Well, if he calls it his cuisine,
No, it would be
appropriation.
It would be Trini food, Trini restaurant.
Yeah, if he calls it Trini food,
Yeah, that's fine.
that's fine.
But
If
he
he calls
did-
it American food,
But he did that for the rum, man. He did that for the rum. So that's where my confusion is. I get the importance of the word. I get that.
right?
Yeah.
Because when I first saw it, we just saw a little video with him doing that. And you never see none of that information there, you know. He just
Yeah.
said, I'm launching my new rum. Or sorry, my
Juve.
rum of choice, Juve
Yeah,
rum. And
yeah.
I think that's why everybody started, because you just see that out of nowhere online. I probably look for the video and show you and post it up too.
Okay.
You start looking at that and you're like, oh, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
What do you mean your new rum?
Yeah.
Juve.
I can understand that
I think
anger.
that's where
Yeah.
I think that's where a lot of the initial anger came from.
Okay. Well, even with understanding that he did credit the source of the word, you know, we were still
He
mad.
credited that the word came from Trinidad.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's because that whole hate spiral started already and was already going.
Yeah, it couldn't stop at that point. I get it. And again, back to the argument of stopping appropriation in the region.
Okay, yeah.
Impossible. That's my argument. It's
No.
impossible.
I'm going to say it can be impossible.
All right.
I can't stop with it.
All right. Okay.
Maybe there's
Not
nothing. Maybe there's
going to
nothing in.
be
Of course not. Nothing worth doing ever really is usually.
And where to start?
What do they elect representatives for?
What do you say? What you elect them for?
They represent me.
All right. Look here.
I'm not saying they have to do it, but they have to tell me how it can get done.
Our government barely want to fix the road them where we drive pan.
Hey, I'm not asking them how. I'm not asking them to do it, you know. But they must can tell me how.
Tell you how. And then what you can do it yourself.
Might as well.
Jesus.
Get that done faster.
Jaja.
No, but if it's things like copyright law and trade law and international laws, grounds for them must exist. What are they? Start by telling us that.
I think
You tell me no lawyer can post that up online and say
I feel
this.
like every question we have here could research.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah.
But we have to get the thing out quick, so now I can't.
Right, okay, all right. All right, we don't have answers this podcast. We only have opinions this
There's
one.
a reason why we call it Here's the Issue.
We don't have here's the solution. That's fair. We didn't say we had any solutions.
Mm-hmm.
But usually we have one at the end, But for this one, it's yeah. Well, that's the issue. But you know what though? Guys, comment down below your opinion on this issue. Let us know if you even think it's an issue. Let us know your views. Alright. Here's the Issue is an opinionated program based on the information we had readily available to us at the time of the recording, and not necessarily the views of any sponsors. We acknowledge that by its very nature, the information we release may be susceptible to updates and redactions, and we will readily perform them as needed.